this discussion today about elevating your career. First thing is, we know what the problem is. The problem is you're not moving through your career fast enough, or you're not getting the promotion, or maybe you're meandering, or maybe you're trying a job interview and you can't get that new employer to raise that level, go from that managerial to directorial level. You're looking for somebody to take a chance on you. Well, you need to know how to articulate the value that you've created. Now, high performers, the highest of high performers, they expect to be successful. They plan for success. They think about it every single day. And I don't mean in an unhealthy way. I'm talking about in a thoughtful, very, very well dialed in way about what high performance is. And to focus you all in on this, there's really two things you need to understand, regardless of what your job is. Companies exist for two reasons: to serve customers and to generate revenue and profits, if you will. But basically, when you strip it all down and all the fancy stuff, all the things that they do, that's why they exist: to serve customers or deliver products and services to customers, and to generate money so that they can continue to do that and grow and create a great environment for people to work and all that good stuff. But it all starts with their customers and their revenue. Once you understand how what you do contributes to that, you're gonna be more thoughtful about the activities or the extracurricular activities or projects that you start to work on so that you can contribute in a more valuable manner to that. So once you're dialed in, it'll be a lot easier. Now, what I'd like to spend most of today on is what's that exercise that I go through, and what can you do analogously to actually reach that level of performance that puts you on the right path to work on the right stuff and do the right things that raises your game, that ultimately helps you go through your career faster. So, and I think Julia asked me about how I spend my morning or whatever. I'm actually I'll work that right into the talk. And because this gives me a chance to share a little piece of me with you. You certainly don't need to do it this way, but this is the exercise that I'd like you to do. I do it on a daily basis for about 15 minutes. The purpose of the exercise is to generate ideas, not solutions, just ideas. So to give us a running start and answer Julia's question here, I get up in the morning, I hug my wife, who I absolutely adore. She's my human treasure. I knock the dogs around a little bit. They're my two little treasures. Off to the gym I go, or out for a run I go. I shower up, I clean up, I get home, I grab a little breakfast, and then before my day starts, before I get into to everything that I've already planned for my day, which I've done the night before I get into that, and it's still pretty early now, it's 8 o'clock or 8:30. What I do is I turn on my little Apple Watch. I give myself 15 minutes. I get away from the computer. I don't want any distractions. I don't want to see anything. I don't want to hear any bells going off. The phone's off. Everything is turned off. And then what I do is I ask myself 5 questions. I'm going to tell you what I ask myself, and I'm going to tell you your analogous questions as well. And I come up with ideas. The first question that I ask myself is really, it's the center of my universe, which is my customers. So what can I do to better serve my customers? It's the first question I ask. I like to ask the questions in this order in case I run out of time, because I like to go from what I think are the most important things. And the customers, to me, if you serve your customers the right way, you're in Fat City. So how can I make their lives easier? What value can I give them? How can I make the delivery of my training programs, my coaching programs, all that good stuff easier for them to get more value out of it? Now, your customers, my customers are some of you, the Mile Walk Academy paying students that are enrolled in my monthly coaching program or my one-on-one coaching program or my boot camp. If you're a boot camper, give me a shout out in the chat, or some of the other courses that I have, like the interview intervention course and so on. Paying students of the Mile Walk Academy. Those are my customers. Your customers could be your company's customers. You might actually serve the customer, support them, call center rep, support engineer, whatever it might be. Or your customers could be internal units. Your customers could be other teams within your organization. You could be a project manager who is implementing a technology system for one of the business units. They could be your customers. Whoever your customers are, they could be internal customers. You could be working in the alliances area where you've got partnerships and they're your customers. So whoever your customers are, first question to ask yourself is, what can I do to better serve my customers? And jot your ideas down. Second question, this is where you guys come in. What can I do to add more value to my community? I love this one. Why? Where do you think live office hours came from? Where do you think stuff like the resume builder comes from? It's me sitting in that sunroom behind me for 15 minutes every morning thinking about how can I add more value to my community? Let's put this in perspective. And I know you guys, I know there's a lot of competition for your attention. I love that you're here with me. I know that there are a lot of trainers that speak about the topics that I train on, but you're here with me and I love having you. Now, I could one morning, each quarter, get in this office and bang out 12 videos that are 5 to 10 minutes and record them, and I could be done by 10 o'clock. And I can send them out to you once a week, each week, and give you value, which is nice. There's nothing wrong with that. Give you value, write you a nice little email letter, give you a little lesson, and never have to talk to a camera or record anything for 3 months. Now, in my opinion, that's not good enough. You deserve more. But I want to give you more. I want to have a deeper connection with you. A lot of trainers get into training business because they want to create free time for themselves. I think that's misguided. I got in training because I want to engage with you and help you. I can only get to know you through these kind of sessions. And even though we're not exactly speaking to each other, I can see you in the chat. I get your comments in these sessions. Some of you are putting them. You respond to my email letters that I send you or email messages that I send you each week. And I love to get to know you. But I'm also getting something out of this. I'm becoming a better trainer because you are coaching me with the type of information you need to know, some of the current events and shifts employers are making, some demographical issues you're having, whatever it is. I can't get that by spending a couple hours recording 12 videos and sending them out to you. So that's not good enough. So I want to amp that up. What about your community? Who's in your community? Well, you got your team. You got your company, you got your market, you got your networking groups, you got all kinds of stuff that is an extension of you. So trust me when I tell you, they need you. You can add value and contribute your knowledge and your energy to them, and you in turn will get something, even if it's just feeling good that you're making everybody's life better. But trust me when I tell you, something's going to come back. Education, good relationships, friendships, whatever it might be. But community is a big honking deal. And this also helps you grow your network, right? It helps you grow your network, which is a big thing. All right, third thing that I do is I think about how do I better market my services. So I'm a business. I can't survive if I'm not marketing myself effectively. There are many ways that I do that. For me, it might be how do I communicate better with you through email? How do I offer you more opportunity to get to know me, like a live office hour, something like that? But generating revenue is important, and you might not be on the sales team or the marketing team, but there are a lot of ways that you can go about helping your company increase its brand awareness, generating leads, showing it has knowledgeable resources on a subject. Maybe you can write for the corporate blog. Maybe you can create a white paper that's distributed through social media that's ultimately grabbed by potential customers, other businesses, other maybe consumers, depending on the type of company you work for. Could you speak at events? Those kind of things. If trust me when I tell you, think about how what you do contributes to this. And the next best thing to marketing and helping your company market its service is saving money through optimization. So I think about my internal systems. How can I better improve my internal systems? So optimization. So there's manual systems that my team and I use. There are systems that we use for the search side of the business to business services we offer from MileWalk. And then there's the MileWalk Academy. So communicating with you, making sure that we're getting to know you, we're getting you information. So we have an email marketing system and a CRM system. We also have internal systems, the way we communicate with each other, whether it's through like Slack or something like that, or other mediums that we use, our Google calendars and all that good stuff. There's also another one that's really important, and this is maybe a nice little gratuitous plug here for something I'm going to be giving you for free, but in a couple of weeks, and I've mentioned this in the past, a couple of weeks ago, maybe the week before that, in a couple of weeks, if we stay on schedule, I'm going to be releasing a new interview intervention hardbound book. I've bought several thousand copies already. I'm giving it to you anywhere in the world for free. You pay a couple dollars, shipping and handling for the fulfillment company to pick it, pack it, and ship it to you. Wherever you are, same price, same few dollars. Well, I've got to get your information that you're going to fill in on the form that says, Andy, I want the book for free. I'll pay a couple of bucks. Well, you send it to me. Now I can manually move it over there. I can do it in an automated fashion. There's complexity. So I'm talking about things like that. Maybe you could help improve your own processes, whatever you do on a day-to-day basis. Your own stuff, your team's stuff, your company's stuff, your company's systems, your company's integrations with its customers, partners, or other alliances that it has. Is there anything that you can do? Every single one of you can improve the way you do your business and the way you run your day. And I understand that many of you have responsibilities that are dictated by your companies or your bosses, but you have a lot of control. You really do. You have more control than you think, and you have outside time if you're willing to put the time in. All right, last thing, this might be my favorite one. Just say no. Stop it. Stop. What should I stop doing? Now, I'm not talking about checking Facebook for 30 minutes in the middle of your morning, of course, unless you're reading one of my posts or watching one of my videos or podcasts. But I'm talking about what is it that you do that's not adding value? What is it? Ask yourself, of all the things that I work on, this is especially important for you managerial resources, what is it that I work on that only I can do? Keep those on your list. But are there other things that somebody else could do? One of the people on your team? Could you get a less expensive resource to do that? Could you outsource that? Could you free up time basically to work on these other 4 things? So you're trying to get rid of the things that you don't need. So if you ask yourself those 5 questions, there's a lot of benefit to this. So why would I do? Now I realize that not every single person is in a position to impact all 5 of those questions, certainly 3 of them at least. But just think about the ones that are most appropriate for you. But let's think about what's happening here. First thing is you're actually getting time to slow down, which we all need. And if you could just spend a couple minutes a day slowing down, you will be amazed at how much more efficient your life will become. That's the first thing. There's a benefit. If you do it the way I do it, 15 minutes a day, 5 days a week, that's 65 hours of nothing but thinking over the course of the year. What could you do with an extra week and a half's worth of work time if you just thought? But now you're also stimulating your brain about the highest level of activities. So even if you don't implement all of these, you're still thinking in the right direction. And I have news for you. I guarantee you that if you spend this kind of time and you think about this stuff, remember, you don't have to do all this by yourself because you have to create time to actually implement these projects, programs. It could be a 5-minute fix. It could be stop doing it. It could be an hour-long project or a week-long project. But you can bring it to your boss, you can bring it to your company, you can bring it to your team members. Maybe you can spend a little extra time at night or on the weekend or at lunch or early morning or whatever to do this. But the other thing that this will do for you, do this for a week, and then I want you to email me. I'll tell you what, the biggest charge I get out of doing this is when I get done with those 15 minutes, somebody literally needs to restrain me from my excitement because all I keep thinking about is, oh my goodness, I can't wait to do that and give that to them. And I want to see the look on their face because I'm excited because there are great things that I'm creating. There will be great things that you will be creating and it will constantly be kicking your mind into a different gear. You'll have a different attitude. You'll have a different pull towards what you do. And Even if you have some activities that you got to do throughout the day that are totally mundane, this different line of thinking is going to help you and keep your attitude up. So it's a wonderful, wonderful thing to do. I love to do it first thing in the morning because, number one, I'm really fresh and I haven't gotten into my projects that are going to really occupy my brain and my thinking. And the other thing is that I won't get interrupted. I'm doing it before I get any distractions, but it also gets me in the right mindset to go through the day. Now, I know what some of you are thinking. Andy, I don't work out of my house. I can't, when I get up in the morning, I got 8 kids and I got to make them breakfast. I got to get them to school. I totally get it. So, but just think, do you sit down for a cup of coffee at some point throughout the day, maybe the morning? Could you do 10 minutes, 5 minutes, whatever? Do you have a commute to work? Do you take a train? Are you on a plane? Things like that. What about, you take a shower? Can you do 5 minutes in the shower just thinking about these kind of things? 1 question a day each week in the shower is better than nothing. Or take 20 minutes on a Friday morning or a Sunday morning or Saturday afternoon. Put a cocktail in your hand. Doesn't make no difference to me, but just allocate some time to this level of thinking. And I guarantee it will transform the way you go about your job and your career. One more item that I want to hit before we jump off this topic and then I go to the chat. And this is really important. And this is going to be kind of sobering. It's really, when we hang up here, when we're done with the cast, I want you to think about this. And I'm going to wrap it in a story for you. I do one-on-one coaching of different varieties, and I do high-performance coaching. So individuals these are not job seekers. These are individuals like C-level folks, get a lot of salespeople, marketing people, senior level folks, huge type A personalities, very ambitious people, very ambitious, and they have high goals and they're not getting there fast enough. They enlist my help to elevate their performance through different ways of thinking, kind of like what we're talking about right now. On the first session, we sit down and I ask them, what are your goals? And inevitably, they all give me these great lofty goals, which I love. That's awesome because I want you to go big. Go big. Don't go down here. Don't aim low and hit. Most people's problem isn't that they aim too high and miss. It's that they aim too low and they actually hit those goals. So I want you to go big. They want to go big. Awesome. Then I say to them, open up your calendar and I want to see what it looks like today. So they open up a lot of them just take out their iPhone or their Droid or whatever, and they show me. I look at it and I see, okay, there I am. Here we are now. That's good, right? You're getting some help. Let me actually see the week. What's the week look like? Then they open up the calendar. There's the week, and I look at them. 100% of my clients can go through this process, and I say, okay, what a typical week looks like. Oh yeah. Yeah, I'm busy, I'm moving, I'm shaking, lots of activities, not really time for a lot of other things. And I say to them, where on this calendar are the activities that you need to do in order to reach those goals you shared with me? Because they're not here. They're not here. Your activities on your calendar, if this is what your calendar looks like, your activities are not in alignment with your aspirations and you will never get there. You will never get there if this is what your week in and week out calendar looks like. You either need to expand time, you need to create space, or you need to add time to what you're willing to do. But if the activities that you need to do aren't there, you'll never get there. A couple years ago, when I wanted to become a trainer, I had to have time on my calendar that says talk to a camera. Get good at this, or figure out how to use the camera. Actually, figure out how to use the lights. Figure out how to put a blog post together, or write a book, or what. You have to write those activities down in your calendar. What's the cliche? What gets scheduled gets done. But I challenge all of you to look at your calendar. What does that look like? Does that match up with where you want to go? So try that out. Let me know how that goes. All right. If you are loving this, give me the thumbs up. Let's recap the 5 questions really quickly that I want you to ask yourself. Okay? And if you remember, what can you do to add more value to your customers or better serve your customers? What can you do to add more value to your community? What can you do to help your company market its product or services better? What can you do to optimize your internal systems, your processes, whatever they might be, internal or even integration to the outside? And what should you stop doing? What should you stop doing? This one is very powerful because this is the one that gets rid of the non-value added busy work. Busy work. And one question you can ask yourself as just a parting little gift here is, if you're doing something right now, if when you started that activity, you would have known, if you would have known then what you know now, would you have even started that activity? And if the answer is no, then you need to stop it. Then you need to stop. Don't just keep doing stuff because you've always done it or because somebody told you need to do it. So anyway, so I hope you'll love that. So stop for a minute and give me a thumbs up and share this, because we are now going to the chat.